Stage one of the OVO Energy Tour of Britain would take the riders 174.8 kilometres from Pembrey Country Park to Newport. And the newly crowned Tour de France winner, Geraint Thomas, was ready in his home country to put on a show for the spectators. Chris Froome alongside him as Team Sky led away in the Carmarthenshire. The National Park, 500 acres, and ahead of them lay 3 King of the Mountains points of the day, 3 intermediate sprints, and then a fast run down towards the finish. Straight from the off, breakaway group became established, containing Rory Townsend of Canyon Iceberg, Downey of Team Wiggins, Tom Moses of JLT Condor, Nick Glamini of Dimension Data, and Richard Handley of Madison Genesis. The first intermediate sprint of the day for the Red Iceberg jersey was taken by the Great Britain Cycling Team rider Matt Bostock, who wheelied across the line to take the 3 points. The trademark glasses of Geraint Thomas very much evident in the field art of the fans along the route. And Chris Froome making an appearance in the OVO Energy Tour of Britain. And with his biggest rivals from the Tour de France, Primož Roglic. What sort of legs does he have coming out of a great performance in the Tour de France? In the breakaway, Richard Handley had an untimely puncture as the breakaway headed towards the first King of the Mountains point of the day at Bethlehem Hill. Tom Moses of JLT Condor made a gutsy move early on the climb, but it was the South African and the Dimension Data rider, Nick Glamini, who had swept up the King of the Mountains title in the Tour Down Under right back at the beginning of the season, that crested the summit to take the maximum points. Ahead of the riders would be the second climb at Devnog, but before they got there is Llandovery, the second iceberg sprint of the day. This time it was Rory Townsend of Canyon Iceberg that crossed the line ahead of Bostock and Moses. Back in the peloton, the man that Team Sky were tipping as their general classification rider, Wout Poels, was having an armchair ride surrounded by his teammates. On to the next King of the Mountains point of the day at Devnog. Coming after 89.3 kilometres, it was Nick Glamini who again took the maximum points over the summit to look secure in the leader's jersey. To the next intermediate sprint, and it was Moses of JLT Condor that jumped clear and took maximum points ahead of Bostock, with Townsend crossing the line in 3rd place. The peloton, though, were closing, and the riders were attacking from the breakaway group. Rory Townsend would be the final rider of the day. He blew the kisses to the camera, but as they came on to the final climb, Belmont Hill, it was Geraint Thomas that set the race alight, attacking on the climb. He was quickly countered by Julian Alaphilippe and Bob Jungels of Quick Step Floors, but was the climb close enough to the finish to prove decisive in the general classification? They went across the summit and went clear with 2 riders chasing down behind. Bob Jungels, though, took off alone, and this would be the attack that would go close to the finish, but the Luxembourg rider was swept up with 1 kilometre to go, with BMC looking to set up the sprint for their fast man, Jurgen Roelandts. Lotto Soudal and Andre Greipel had played the sprint perfectly, and Caleb Ewan and Fernando Gaviria were both getting into the action. Gaviria opened up his sprint first, and it looked all the way like it would be the Quick Step Floors man, but Greipel and Ewan both closed with the victory going to Andre Greipel. The 154th career victory for Andre Greipel, ahead of Caleb Ewan, who will replace him as the first choice sprinter at Lotto Soudal in 2019. Fernando Gaviria, he went early, not to be today for the Quick Step Floors rider. His 7th Tour of Britain stage victory for Andre Greipel. Will he take more as the race goes on? Onto the podium for his first stage victory of the 2018 OVO Energy Tour of Britain. Andre Greipel takes the stage. Nick Glamini pulls on the first Skoda King of the Mountains jersey of this year's race. Looked good there. Will he manage to carry that through to London on stage 8? Matthew Bostock takes the Iceberg Sprints jersey. Confirmation of the top 10. Andre Greipel takes it from Caleb Ewan, Fernando Gaviria with Gabs Kaleig in 4th. Rollins, Pascalon, Hayter, Simeon, Albanese and Poles are the top 10. Andre Greipel pulls on the green jersey. He takes a 4-second advantage over Caleb Ewan into stage 2.